Hello, everybody. What's going on, people? I am here today. I am Lady Vasori, and today we're talking about Goddess Isis. We're diving into Isis, loves. Isis. Before I get started, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Lady Vasori. I am the owner and operator of a spiritual online Botanica called Visions by Vasori. It's my baby. That is where I hold all of my occult items, anything you need in the craft. I do client works. I do oracle readings. I do life coaching, and I do teaching. It's my passion and it is my pleasure. Thank you so much for allowing me into your life, into your space, and I'm gonna give it all I got. You understand what I'm saying? We are diving into the Isis, goddess of magic, today. I have been asked a couple of times. I did a small video maybe a year or two ago on Isis, but we're gonna dive into this goddess on today. I also have some books here to reference, and I'm also going to show you the books as well, so you can learn yourself and read up on anything you need to know about goddesses. Not just one particular one, but the books that I'm going to be showing you will give you how to manifest the power and wisdom of certain goddesses, and they are to hone in their ashe, this and that. Y'all already know. Let's dive into Isis. And guys, I do have my notes. I have my notes here. I also have the books in front of me. So let's dive into Isis. Isis is the queen of the earth. Isis is the mother of magic. Okay? Isis. Isis moves around you in the quiet, and she gently envelops you in like this feathery protection, and it all comes from her wings. If you have ever seen the picture or a statue of this goddess, you will understand what I'm saying. She is the star of the sea and the great redemptress. Her name is the goddess of ancient Egypt. And anybody can attune to Isis, but the melanated part of us will attune so grateful to Isis. If you've recently been called by this amazing Egyptian goddess, you might be wondering who she is and how to honor her. And right now we're going to talk about all of that. We're going to talk about Isis and her origins, the myths, her spiritual domains, her signs that she's calling to you, and a couple of ways to work with her in your practice, okay? First off, who is Isis, goddess of magic and motherhood? Who is this goddess? Isis is also known as Aset, and is one of the most venerated deities on the planet. Her cult, or her followers, were one of the largest in ancient times, and it stretched from Eastern Africa to Asia to Europe and beyond. She was the wife to Osiris. And Osiris is the god of the underworld. She is the mother of Horus, god of the skies. But she was so much more than a mother and a wife. She was a queen, the queen of the earth and over the gods. The great sorceress knew how to use words to heal any ailment and to bring the dead back to life. And she is the master shapeshifter. But where did she come from? That is her origins. Where did Isis mysteriously come from? Interestingly, with all that we know, or all that I studied about Isis, we don't know much about her true origins. Some speculate that she arose from Hathor cult, a, a cow goddess of love and motherhood who predates Isis. And this seems to have all the same divine qualities, though. Now, the Greeks associated her with multiple deities, including Artemis, Aphrodite, Demeter, Persephone, and unlike many other ancient Egyptian gods, Isis has no clear cult center or city from which her belief arose from. It seems that she may have originated in the 5th dynasty, but there's no evidence to prove it or prove otherwise, or disprove it, right? As time passed, Isis merged with other important deities throughout the ancient world, including Hathor, Sothis, Bastet, and Nut. All right, just to name a few. We're jumping on to how Isis manifests in signs she is calling on you, all right, to honor her. When Isis, the goddess of motherhood, manifests, she's almost always a beautiful woman in her childbearing years. Sometimes bearing a pair of feathered wings, she wears a headdress of horns that hold a golden disc or the sun between them. But Isis is also known to appear as a swallow, a cow, a kite, as a young princess, and also as a widowed beggar. Much of her survival depicts her seated on a throne, holding her baby Horus to her breast. In fact, certain historians believe that many of the Mother Mary and Jesus statues from the East African region were originally Isis and Horus. Some also believe her image was taken to Asia by way of the Silk Road, and she became Kuan Yin. I love Kuan Yin as well. That's another video, honey. But some signs that Isis is calling to you is she will appear in your dreams, and be aware she may also call herself Aset, her Egyptian name. She may be calling to you if kites and swallows start showing up in real life. Those are birds. You may hear her name on TV, radio, or see it repeatedly online. She'll be calling to you if cows start showing up in real life. If you're finding feathers everywhere you go or everywhere that you walk in your path. She sends her symbols to you. The Ankh. This is the Ankh that I wear. She'll send a throne, a sistrum, wings, cow horns with a solar disc, or her knot. If you're drawn to working with the sun and moon, Isis calls to mothers and widows. She also calls to those who are magical practitioners, such as I. And Isis comes to you through Reiki attunement as an ascended master. And that's another video I'm going to do real soon on the ascended master, okay? Now, we're going to talk about Isis's spiritual domain, or Aset. The Great Mother rules motherhood, obviously, but she also rules over many other spiritual domains. She's a sorceress. Therefore, magic falls under her dominion, including shape-shifting, incantations, and spells of all kinds. Healing, which I am a spiritual healer, is one of her #1 qualities. And she uses words to eradicate illness and make one whole again, right? What that is she'll break you down, pull it all, break you down into pieces and build you back up, all right? She'll build you back up. to make you a whole again without all of that. She is a mourner and mourning the death of her husband Osiris in the myth, and rules over the grieving process in the funeral rites as well if you're a widow. We can assume with her mythos in connection to the Ankh that she also has access to the life, death, and rebirth cycles. All right? Her people inspired in ancient times what is called the golden ass, in which the author speaks, the writer of this, which is the fictional novel, is called the golden ass, of the mysteries of Isis. Y'all need to get that book. It's, again, the golden ass. These mysteries that was written in this fictional book illustrates rituals of deep importance, including an elaborate purification ritual before initiation. Now, therefore, Isis rules over purification and initiation rituals in general. Some believe her mysterious rites influence initiation rites, still being performed today in churches and secret societies and even fraternities. Now, her magical associations her domain is under motherhood, magic, and healing. Her herbs are myrrh, the sycamore fig, and vervain. Some minerals or crystals are bloodstone, gold, and lapis lazuli. Her allies are Horus, Hathor, and Osiris. And her offerings would be milk, honey, and flowers, y'all. Milk, honey, and flowers. Some great things to give her. Now, 12 ways I'm going to give you quickly, well, not necessarily quickly, but to work with Isis. Now, these are some gems, some different ways that you can do to work with Isis. And how you choose to practice your beliefs and your spirituality is completely up to you. But if you're needing some tips on how to work with Isis, the Great Mother, here are some that I'm going to give you. Number one is always read and research. When you're getting to know a deity, any deity, it's crucial to read all you can about them. Their likes, their dislikes, their ashe. For Isis, there are myths to study, but also archaeological evidence of her cult. You're going to look up her history and how the church forced her followers to convert. You're going to study ancient Egyptian religion and daily life to understand Isis better. Read everything you can get your hands on. And now I'm going to show you right quick the books. This book right here, Find Your Goddess. This lets the goddesses guide you. And this book here is by Sky Alexander, How to Manifest the Power and Wisdom of the Ancient Goddesses in Your Everyday Life. This is a great book. This is my personal copy. I think I sold out of these books. Y'all have to look. I have a lot of books, y'all. But this one here is my personal copy. Just some people or goddesses in this book. I'm just going to name a few. It's a lot. Aphrodite, Bridget, Demeter, and I'm skipping over. I'm just doing the ones that are more known about. Durga, Freya, Frigg, Gaia, Hathor, Hecate, Hera, Isis, of course, Kali, Kuan Yin, Lilith, Mot, Mamiwata, the Morrigan, Nemesis, Nut, Oshun, Ostara, Oya, Rhiannon, the Rainbow Serpent, Saraswati, Sekhmet, Selene, Spider Woman, Tara, Yemaye, the White Buffalo Calf Woman. I've never heard of that. are all in this book right here. And I'm going to turn to Isis because that's who I'm teaching on. And this here is I love color pics. This is a picture of Isis. And you see the sun disk, her wings, and it just states, because of her devotion to Osiris, Isis is considered the ideal wife. Her ability to bring her husband back to life and sorry about that, guys. The husband just called in and I'm recording on my phone today, but let's me continue. All right. As I was stating, images frequently show Isis with magnificent wings outstretched to guide against evil, to guide and guard her against evil. Her manifesting her power as the goddess of marriage, Isis can help you handle relationship problems, especially those related to devotion, fidelity, and renewal. Dedicate a special time each week to do something with your partner that you both enjoy. Celebrate your relationship in small ways often. Make a list of the good things in your relationship and share it with your partner. In addition, Isis teaches that women need not be subservient to their mates. Rather, they possess the magic to nurture what's important, create what's essential, and repair what's been damaged on their own. And this here is all in this particular book right here, Find Your Goddess. Another book that I pulled is Invoke the Goddess by Calatrava, and it's connected to the Hindu, Greek, and Egyptian deities. Now this one is my personal book. You have Hindu goddesses in this book: Durga, Kali, Lakshmi, Radha, and Egyptian goddesses: Isis, Hathor, Mot, Sekhmet. Greek goddesses as well. You have Artemis, Persephone, Hecate, and Aphrodite in this one book. I'm going to turn to Isis. And let's see. It tells you about her life. It dives really deep into the knowledge of Isis. It tells you about encountering Isis and the preparation for her. How to use visualization for increased powers of intuition or getting her ashe. Talks about finding your ideal long-term partner and the preparation of how to do it using Isis. It tells you how to set up work for preparation in love and nurturing and relationships, all using the deity Isis. And this book right here is called Invoke the Goddess. Great book. I have a couple of more books as well, but I only pulled the two that I know that this particular goddess is in. So these two books right here is great for reading and research. Another way to work with Isis is to set up an altar for Isis, an altar for her. Of course you would do that, right? Setting up an altar for Isis will aid in the connection with her. Giving her a sacred space within your space shows a willingness to communicate with her and to honor her. If it doesn't have to be elaborate or fancy, if you don't want it to be, I know people like, and this is another, y'all, I be getting ideas so much. I'm about to start going to people's homes and erecting altars for them. All right. And it's going to be big works, but you're going to pay for it. But at the end of the day, I do my shit grand, elaborate, opulent. So I am about to feature that in my shop. Now with Isis, it doesn't have to be elaborate or fancy if you don't want it to be. Something as simple as a bookshelf or corner of a counter does the trick. You can add candles, you can add offering cups and images of Isis. If you can't afford to buy statues, because I understand that the statues are very expensive, you can print out a picture of Isis and put it in a gold frame. Use her colors black and blue, she loves gold, and burn incense for her there at your altar. All right? You can also give her regular offerings. Giving offerings to any deity isn't required, or your ancestors, but it shows your gratitude. Isis appreciates fresh milk. She appreciates fresh flowers, incense, perfume, and candle flame. She is simple. You don't have to provide offerings every day, but every week or even every month is appropriate. Now, I wouldn't tell you to leave fresh milk on your altar for a week. Why would you do that? Couple of days, yes. And then I would refresh it in a nice small cup. Now the milk, I would most definitely give fresh milk every other day or at least every 3 days. But Isis also appreciates being invoked in magical and healing rites. If you are looking for healing, if you're looking for attunement with your psychic powers and your magical powers, this is the deity to use if you are attuned to her, as well as moments in motherhood and fertility. Use Isis. Another thing you can use to work with Isis is if you're doing healing magic. Isis is the great healer. She uses words to mend broken bones, to heal wounds, and eradicate illness. If you've been called to heal, such as myself, Isis will guide you in your studies as well as your magical practices. Call on her when performing a healing ritual. Call on her when concocting a remedy or engaging in energetic healing of any kind. You want to ask for the words to use to heal any disease, whether physical or mental. Okay? Another way to hold on, y'all. Another way to work with Isis is playing with the sistrum. Sistrum. The sistrum is a rattle that was popular in ancient Egypt. It was played for entertainment, but also as a part of a sacred ritual. Because this instrument is linked to Isis, consider purchasing one and playing it when you invoke her to your circle, or play it simply to please her. Sit at your altar, play the sistrum, burn an incense, talk to her, talk to the flame. She loves the flame. Those are some ways to work with Isis. Also, another way is using her symbols. She loves symbols. Well, nearly every deity has a symbol or two that represents their divinity and powers. Isis is no exception. Use her symbols to connect with her. Use the Ankh, use the solar disc, use the moon, an amulet, the knot of Isis, and a sistrum. Draw them on your body before and during a ritual. Paint her symbols on an altar cloth. But purchase an altar cloth with the symbols already inside of the cloth, or simply draw them in the air during ritual and to bless her space. I am big on sigils and symbols with candles. If you have we know she likes blues and blacks, and if you're burning, say, a blue candle, 7-day candle, get you one and draw the symbol on the outside of the candle. That's a great way as well to work with Isis. Another way to work with this goddess is working with her herbs. Now, Isis's sacred plants involve or include vervain, myrrh, fig, dates, palm, and roses. Vervain can be purchased as a loose leaf herb and used in her offerings and herbal preparations. Burn myrrh incense or use myrrh essential oils to anoint her image. You can offer her dates. You can offer her figs, roses to her gratitude. If you want to take it to the next level, grow one or all of her favorite plants. Grow it. No one ever said no to a rose bush. Like even in Trader Joe's, they have the small rose pots. They're like $4.99. Put that on your altar, right? They have for $3.99 at Aldi's. You can buy fresh roses at Aldi's for $3.99. Create a flower, a fresh flower bouquet for her. Put it in a nice vase. Do that. Place that on your altar. It is very, very important to honor her that way. Another way is her sacred feast days. Let's talk about it. We just missed it. One was on July 17th. And according to modern tradition, Isis is connected to Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays and can be involved and invoked on those days with ease, right? Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. In addition, you can celebrate her on her most holiest days, which are including her birthday on July 17th, which just recently passed, but the advent of Aset on January the 2nd. Also, a Roman feast day for Isis is on March the 2nd. Now, my recommendation is to research traditions that were once upheld for each feast day and recreate it in your own way. Another way is sun and moon magic. Y'all, I do the sun, but I'm more a moon magical witch. At one point, Isis takes over the role of bringing or being the Eye of Ra, solidifying her role as a solar deity. Right? So, however, there were many, many times in ancient Egyptian history where the people also linked her indefinitely to the moon. Cast magic using the sun and the moon in honor of Isis, and invoke her to bless your sun and moon waters. You can then use the waters to cleanse her altar and add to your ritual baths. You can cleanse your magical tools this way. Or how about making a sun tea infused with rosebuds? Then offer a bit to Isis, the goddess of beauty, in thanks for her ashe. Another way is to sky gaze. Baby, I am a sky gazer for life. Especially at night when the stars are out and the moon. Isis started out as the wife of Osiris, right? But over the centuries, she rose to be honored above even the god of the underworld. She became the queen of the universe. She was also associated with the star Sirius, which was called the soul of Isis. Get out your telescope and gaze at the wonders of Isis, the creation, including the moon and the stars. You can find so many different apps on your phone to stargaze or sky gaze. Download an app to do that and go outside and find Sirius, the star Sirius, and just imagine and talk to Isis. Another way is ritual milk bath for Isis, and this is for purification. Because she's the great mother, milk has long been her sacred liquid. Milk flowing from her body, nourishing our souls, and then also nourishing the entire universe, right? So Isis also appreciates purity and purification rituals. So take a ritual milk bath before meeting her in ritual. Take a milk bath, and it is, baby, pour a cup of milk in that bath and sit in there and put it all over your body. And then go out and do a ritual and sit and honor Isis within that. Let's see. You can use for one of the milk baths, make sure you clean out your bathtub. A cup of milk, preferably cow's or coconut milk if you are vegan. Put some frankincense or myrrh incense on the in the bathroom. Throw in a handful of rose petals. Throw in a handful of jasmine flowers. Use a white candle, and make sure you wear white, a white robe, a long gown, a dress in white whenever you come out for the ritual. Okay? Put on some relaxing music. If Egyptian music gets you in the mood, use that. Light the frankincense or the myrrh incense, and I want you to state, Great Mother Isis, may the smoke rise and fill your sacred space with my gratitude. I come to you as a humble soul in awe of your beauty and your power. Then you can light the white candle, turn the lights down, and get into a relaxed state of mind. You want to slow your breathing, quiet your mind, get in that mode of solace, okay? Throw the rose petals in the bath. Make sure you state roses for the love of Mother Isis. May she grant her undying love to heal my weary soul. Put a handful of the jasmine in the tub as well. State, Mother Isis, grant me your magic so that my soul may see in the darkness, heal and become whole. You want to disrobe, get into the tub, naked and free. Bathe and lie in the tub as long as you like. You could visualize the bathtub as a conduit of Isis's loving, healing energy. Full of white light, drawing the essence of the moon into your purifying bath. And I would probably do this bath at night, okay? When you're finished, you're going to stand up and emerge as a cleansed soul. And you're going to state, I've emerged a newborn, whole, being wrapped in the loving wings of Isis. Thank you, oh great mother. I always tell people, do not towel dry. Make sure you just naturally dry on your own. Don't wipe anything off. And for the rest of the day or night, I want you to wear all white. I have a white muumuu that I wear specifically for purification or purity reasons or cleansing. And this is the sign of purity as well as healing, and was often worn by the priests and priestesses in ancient Egypt. And last but not least, work with her animals. Work with her animals. Many deities, especially Egyptian, appreciate when their devotees work with their sacred animals. Isis is no different from that. Her sacred animals include the cow, pigs, scorpions, multiple birds. I love birds. You can add their images to her altar. Offer Isis representations of them and meet them in meditation and a visionary journey. All right? That is a lot on Isis. Let me see if I got anything else for y'all on Goddess Isis. I think that's it. That all I have on Isis that I've learned so far. But again, you will have to read, and the basics is always there, right? You have to read up on any God or goddess or deity or saint or ancestor that you want to attune to. You understand what I'm saying? So this video is a wealth of knowledge. It will help you along your way. It will help you to and guide you to the specific things, but you still want to read up on any deity yourself. All right? That was all I have today on Goddess Isis, the mother, the God mother of all things, of healing, of motherhood, of love, of marriage. You want to hone in to Isis, guys. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, support your girl channel. It's greatly appreciated. Guys, if you need anything, visionsbybasori.com. I offer everything in the occult. I'm also adding a lot of new things after this video. A lot of new things to my platform. Guys, please go and support. It'll be greatly appreciated. I see y'all. I'm blowing blessings of abundance. Bye.